In the movie Pain and Gain, which apparently is based off of a true story, Daniel Lugo, Mark Wahlberg's character, is hired by a gym owner in Miami to increase memberships. Lugo comes through big time. He triples the gym memberships in 6 weeks. How? By giving exotic dancers free memberships. The place started to fill up with women that wanted to look like them and guys that wanted to look at them. Now, I'm not suggesting that you offer free training to exotic dancers to increase revenue, but you might want to consider it with certain athletes. Not all athletes can afford a personal trainer, especially at the amateur level. Let's take a closer look at two of the policies that can have a dramatic financial impact. One has saved me thousands of dollars, and the other has made me tens of thousands of dollars over the years. You can find templates, either for purchase or for free, that can be used to construct your website. This can save you quite a bit of money. Sure, it may cost you a few dollars to tweak it to your exact standards, but you end up with a professional design without the professional rate. Unfortunately, for many trainers in the industry, the motto seems to be, do as I say, not as I do. But it shouldn't be that way. As Jim Rohn says, people trust their eyes more than your words. I had someone come to me once looking for advice on the business aspects of personal training. This trainer was grossly overweight. There are so many ways to educate yourself. Review the plan that I used and then come up with a strategy that works for you. Here are some tips that may help. Audiobooks. People often complain that they do not have enough time to read. For these individuals, I recommend audiobooks. Personal training is an occupation where you make money only if you work. There's no such thing as vacation pay or paid sick days. It's simply this: you don't work, you don't get paid. There are, however, many ways for personal trainers to make money other than training. Let's take a look at some options. Articles. I must admit, writing articles for pay is not like it used to be. At one time, you were compensated quite nicely for your written work. Some guys in the industry were making thousands for each piece they submitted. When I moved into my new place, I had to look for a new assistant. The two I had working for me before were no longer available. One had relocated and went back to school. She eventually became a nutritionist and worked with the Canadian National Olympic team. And the other landed a full-time position with a major sports clothing company. So I was on the search for someone new. It was right around the time that I read The 4-Hour Workweek and discovered a novel concept: remote executive assistants. The Swiss ball is another example that comes to mind. When I first discovered the Swiss ball in the mid-90s, I could only find one place in the Greater Toronto area that carried it. At the time, it was mainly used for physiotherapy and rehabilitation. When I mentioned it to other trainers, they had no clue what I was talking about. Of course, it was a big hit for a while because it was novel and somewhat challenging, but the novelty wore off. After you mastered many of the moves on these inflated balls, there was no real progress to be made. In fact, the contrary occurred. Another option to target a concentrated population area involves commercial, retail, or office settings. Off the top of my head, I can think of a few business owners that have unused space available in their buildings.